I was recently married and we were living in an apartment in the southeast of London on the edge of Blackheath, and I was commuting to London to work with a large firm of architects, Raglan Squire and Partners, as a consultant, actually, because I was also wanting to start my own practice, and I needed some income without having to go every day and travel on the train. They accepted employment on those terms, and it was probably reading a paper, travelling on a commuter train, but there was just a very small advert inviting designs for the proposed Bahá'í Temple of Panama. Doing a project like that, thought it would really give a kick-start to a career in private architecture. And I applied for more details. The requirements seemed more simple than almost any building I've ever been involved with. The requirements were a building with 9 sides and a dome, and much of the rest was left to imagination. I hadn't any previous knowledge of the Bahá'í faith, so the early part of the project was learning a bit about it. Really, 9 sides and the dome was the main challenge, without really knowing a great deal about the faith. Do you know the definition of a parabola? The answer is more than it's more than geometry and triangles. If I do that, see, I'm tossing a ball from hand to hand. Oops. Right. Now the shape that ball takes in flight is a parabola. A parabola can be defined mathematically, and it's a very strong structure. And although the building is based on a 9-sided star, essentially, it's entirely an exercise in geometry, and the dome and all the perimeter arches really, in a way, derived from triangular shapes. And, my theory about the relationship, you're asking about the shape of the dome and how it relates to a 9-pointed star. You divide it as shown, 1 at the scale 1 centimetre, and then you join the lines, as you say, and as you join the lines and work round it, it naturally forms that curve. region as the Mayan. It's in here somewhere. That's all done in stonework there, but the idea was to get something fairly similar. From initial design to the dedication ceremony, 6 years. I didn't know it was approved. I had a telephone call from Robert W. McLaughlin, who was the Dean of the Architectural Department at Princeton, and he was in London staying at a West End hotel and invited me to meet him there. So I did. He was staying in a suite with his wife, and I thought, since he wasn't staying in a room and we were meeting in the suite, I thought that I knew what he was going to say, and he did. I'd won the competition. I was elated, excited, but at the same time anxious, because now I had to actually do the job, and I had to ask myself, can I do this? And I thought, yes, I can. The challenges or problems were really sorted out by people locally, because there were some very clever people there at the time, and I was a long way away across the Atlantic and visiting fairly infrequently. But the Panama Canal Zone was still independent from the Republic, and a lot of very clever Americans were, including retired engineers who supervised on behalf of the Baha'is, and I think everything went relatively smoothly, because the structural engineers had really done a great job of communicating with the Panamanian contractors. I haven't seen it for 50 years, but I still feel quite satisfied with it as representative of its time, era. I think the Baha'is are very progressive in the design of their temples, and looking at more recent ones, particularly the Lotus at Delhi, I find that very impressive, and long may the trend continue.
Bahá'í.